Guys, we're back here with JTH. No hi.
Do I? Oh, I thought you were going to introduce yourself.
And then you have Nightwing here. So we have a lot of news to talk about. Probably at least maybe 4 videos.
Are we doing 4 videos?
Maybe 4 videos.
Okay.
Maybe. We the kind of gonna get the easy stuff out of the way first. You know, the Promised Land, North America, is going to be home to taking over Korea talent and giving them money and making their careers washed up. Right. he's really happy because he wants to talk about Piglet. He's been talking about Piglet ever since we started the channel. So he's gonna tell you what is going on with Piglet right now.
There was actually no news introduced. We just skipped over the fact that
you want to talk about Piglet.
What? No, it's more so I want to acknowledge the fact that we skipped over the fact that Piglet is actually the starting ADC for Clutch, and I just never realized it. They didn't actually pick up an ADC, so I just assumed he was like not actually signed still, but his contract carries over until next split.
And
which makes him they don't have another ADC signed. They only have him signed.
But that's a good thing too. Yeah. I mean, you think about how if you're looking at a new organization they have a lot of money, but you don't have to spend the money for an extra ADC.
Yeah. So what they have right now is they have Someday. They have did I say Someday? Huni? I'm mixing up Koreans now. I guess I'm racist. Don't do that again. Okay, so they have Huni, they have Lyra, and they have Piglet, which are 3 carries. I'm kind of
Huni, Lyra, Piglet, and Vulcan. Vulcan's going to be easy.
No, Vulcan and Demonte.
Vulcan's going to be the best support in the league. You know that, right?
You know, we've only seen him twice, even though he looked terrible in those 2 games.
He did not say that before we started this video.
What? I didn't say what?
I think they'll be... this is going to be a better Clutch than last year, I think.
Oh, 100%, man.
I don't know. They have a worse they probably won't make Worlds, but they'll be a threat to take out teams.
I think this roster has either going to meld well and be absolutely amazing, or they're going to be terrible. There's no in between with these guys. They have a lot of volatile players like Lyra, who really he was MVP 1 split, and then he was struggling to be LCS caliber the next. Really they have Huni, who was MVP pretty much the one split. He was on SKT. Yeah, top 4 Worlds where he was demolished. Yeah, he did well. He did well at Worlds too. And
he was like the 2nd best player behind Faker.
And then he came back to NA, smashed everybody here. I think he was the best.
Sick. Yeah, he was like, I'm not playing.
But I'm saying he was the best top laner in the first half, the spring split. And then he came back to the summer split and he was struggling. He was a liability, and it kind of sucked because Dardoch was popping off. Man. And then we have Piglet, who, I mean, it's kind of obvious.
I still don't think he's that strong on utility ADCs, but the meta's not going to be utility ADCs.
It's even if the fact is, I think he's good enough at the concept of ADCs to make it work. I just think the reason he looks worse on utility ADCs is because the fact you're not putting the carry on him.
Yeah.
And even then, Sivir scales well. I just think his early laning pressure doesn't get highlighted if you put him on.
One of his favorite champions got buffed. Piglet.
Piglet did not get buffed.
One of his favorite champions, Vayne, got buffed. So, you know, hey, SKT Vayne skin, he plays Vayne in a couple games, you know, Styles on double lift, maybe?
Yeah, and then he plays Vayne into Draven again, like he did with Sneaky, and gets killed. God. That was
but Attila plays Draven into Uzi. Is he a madman?
I don't know. I mean, yeah. Attila tore it up, man. I respect him.
I always thought of him as Attila was a great ADC, man.
He's a good ADC.
Formerly known as, if you guys remember, Mini Troopas was his original name, and then he changed it to Attila. Attila played really well.
I think he's under before. I think
it's just no one gives him any credit.
It's because the fact
that too. Like, why does no one give him any credit?
I think it's mainly because he's with a support like Jack Troll. I don't think Jack Troll's the worst. I just don't think he's...
They really should have went with Kasing.
I think Jack Troll is just not good enough in comparison to this...
everybody else on this team.
But yeah, but that's not even...
Yeah. Okay, so that's Clutch Gaming, and now we'll do the easier teams out of the way. Well, let's get the early news out. Meteos and FlyQuest leave.
He left.
Meteos, oh my god. Meteos and Flame leave. I'm flustering my words today. Sorry.
Two extremely... Like, I think they're big. They would both be extremely
large.
Now Meteos
can go to TSM.
I would think that's an amazing pick.
But they still might get contracts too. That'd still be talking.
Contracts just signed with Golden Guardians.
So Meteos might go to TSM. That would be 2 former Cloud9 members who were MVP candidate and an actual MVP candidate on TSM, their rival org. Isn't that crazy? That years later on, TSM grabs old Cloud9 members. And Bjergsen has always spoken very highly about Smoothie. So
what I'm saying is we have Bjergsen right now. Broken Blade, which honestly he's hyped, so I just thought they should go with somebody more.
Oh man, like
they're going with a lot of.
If I know this history about hype players coming in, they're not going to do well when they first start, and they turn on the next split.
He has proven himself on the solo queue scene, but I haven't really I really am not.
He comes from the best wild card region, which is where Supermassive.
Well, the thing about it is he had 5 top 10. I think he had 5 top 10 solo queue accounts in EU itself. So he definitely has potential.
He's definitely.
But I think it was it's a big risk and high reward situation.
Flame, I think Flame is gonna probably go to maybe. I think he might go to an EU team.
I don't think he's either going back to Korea or staying in NA. I feel like it's a stretch to say that EU's going to pick up somebody when they have a lot of talent.
Yeah,
I just think that
maybe North America could still want him. I still think Flame is one of the more better top laners in the league.
I think he could be. He didn't have the best year last year, but it was mostly the people he surrounded himself with.
Because Dokla today tweeted along with I'll get that in a moment, but I think Flame and Meteos. Leaf FlyQuest. Next thing is.
Well, we haven't. Yeah, I think I still want to go a little bit over them. I think those. Okay, I'm sorry, but I think those are 2 of the most valuable free agents at this point, considering most of the other ones have been snagged up. We're not talking about other regions.
I think that if you're any team looking for an import slot to be filled, I think Flame is your best guy to do it for top.
And I think the single most valuable.
NA
jungler. Besides, I still think Dardock's probably the best. But
if you put the factor in, even when Meteos did that on 100 Thieves, got Phoenix 1 to a third place finish.
He's what?
Do you know how to change the graphics card?
I do not. Just take it home. I don't. I can't help you. I can literally plug it in, but I'm not sure. All right, we will edit that part out. All right, start in 3, 2. 1.
We're supposed to hit stop recording too.
We don't have to.
Oh,
I can just edit that part out.
Oh, right. I have to help you edit.
I don't know one has to help me edit. I've done this.
We're gonna have you edit the video.
I can do it.
XD.
I hate you. You're such a dork.
So Meteos. Okay, that's what my Meteos. Meteos, aside from 100 Thieves helping them finish second, he has did Phoenix 1 third place, and he did Cloud9 got second place and got to Worlds that year with him too. So Meteos has good accolades, MVP candidate, 1 splits. There's not more to you can ask from an NA jungler.
I think
Dardock is
in terms of what Meteos brings to the table. It's been a lot. Cody Sun himself has stated that he was the shot caller of the first split and started getting in fights with the coaching staff, which is why it started falling off the second split. But it's obvious that he is a very integral part in the shot calling system. So I think TSM would work, but he himself stated that he wouldn't work in TSM because the culture that TSM brings would not fit mesh well with him.
Making your junglers wards.
But
someone said Grid can't leave because Bjergsen has to have a ward. Bjergsen with 4 wards.
Just
that's the funniest thing ever.
But I think the Hauntzer is one of the most valuable key players because he doesn't take him to an import slot and he's a great jungler. And then Flame, let's think, what team would he mesh well with?
I think Flame could just go to Optic Gaming. They need a good top laner. Dokla's probably going to stay, but
yeah, maybe. I think Optic. It's obvious Optic Gaming is still planning on staying since they brought in a new piece, which we're going to go over later.
Yeah, but Golden Guardians, the biggest meme I've ever seen. Twitch chat did not let us down when they kept saying Immortals died for this.
Well, let's think about it. Like
Golden Guardians, both saying Immortals really did die for this. But now, if Immortals can officially turn over in their grave, because maybe Golden Guardians get playoffs. They have a new roster: Hauntzer, Contracts, Froggen, Deft, and Olleh. Or Def Lee. I'm gonna say Deft. So how is that gonna be for Golden Guardians? When I heard of that, when I heard that Froggen was gonna go to that roster, I'm like, well, they're planning on making some big moves because you factor in Golden Guardians are by the Golden State Warriors. They have a lot of money, and they now want to do good. They saw what it's like to be in the NALCS for a year. They're like, okay, we can't do it with homegrown talent. Because last year, when we first saw the Golden Guardians come together, like, okay, we want to do, NA squads, bring up NA talent. The problem is with doing that with a new org and a new team like that is that you don't have the infrastructure to do that when your new org is trying out homegrown talent. It's just not really going to work. That's what I've always seen from when it tries specifically here, people try doing that, it doesn't work. Plus, they're picking players like Lolo and Matt to do that, so it's not really going to work out. And then
text messages.
And then you come into this year. Well, they switch out Mickey, and then they come into this year with a different plan because they changed their entire coaching staff. They have Anero as the head coach. I think Anero did wonders on Echo Fox, actually. And I think that moving forward, with these newer players that they've signed, and Olleh, Hauntzer, Froggen, who have all been successful at certain points in their careers, will bring a lot of valuable experience. Def Lee doesn't have to be a secondary carry. He could just be there. I mean, you have Froggen, Hauntzer, and Contracts now. Contracts is probably going to look a whole lot better with a lot of better laners in general. And I think it's going to be a much better team. I think can Golden Guardians make playoffs? I don't know, because you factor in a lot of the league is changing. I still think our your staple teams are going to be there. Like Cloud9 is going to Cloud9 TSM are most likely always going to make playoffs. But I think this year, if not in spring, summer, Golden Guardians could definitely make playoffs.
They have Deathly, which is extremely solid. Not even just like, I think he was one of the most underlooked ADCs, because I just the way he laned, and on top of the fact his ability just his champion. But the fact that he played Heimerdinger, just ridiculous. Like, he pulled off Heimerdinger. It wasn't just he played
Can
him.
Olleh and Deathly work?
Yeah, I think Olleh meshes.
I think that's better.
Olleh meshes well with most everybody. I just think it didn't work well with Doublelift, because he is a. I'm gonna be honest. I think he's probably a polarizing and he'll call him out on your mistakes. I don't think Deathly does that.
Yeah, there's that one.
I think when you make a mistake, Deathly calls him out, and I don't think Doublelift calls him out, and I don't think just the personality traits that Olleh has. I don't think he's really good with that.
Remember, there was that game in the comms where Doublelift was like, "Oh my," there's, God, it was horrible for him being a support like that. But I think Deathly will work better with Olleh. But now Contracts has better laners to pop off with, so.
But Contracts still has Contracts, so we'll see.
We'll see.
Contracts didn't impress. It wasn't his laning that made him last spot.
I think, Golden Guardians playoffs, potentially?
Maybe playoffs? I think
they're just in a dark horse this
They picked up a lot of people, and I think they're not going to, I don't think they'll
I like that the org is trying now.
Well, yeah,
they're like, okay, let's not do the whole NA thing.
No, no, it's not that. What they said was, we're trying to develop talent, and then they picked up Hai, who is like 90 years old.
And they pick up Lorlo.
Yeah, those are not talent development. Those are, I'm trying to have a team. I guess they're more focusing on their academy roster, to be fair. But that was
it was their first split, but right as they said they're doing homegrown NA talent, you're like, well, it's gonna be 10th place team.
I'm just hoping that the fact that I don't want the Warriors dominating 2 places. They have enough.
Okay, and then the next piece of news is pretty fast. Crown. People like, hey, he's depressed. He's gonna retire. Nope, Crown is not gonna. We're gonna retire. Crown is joining Optic Gaming.
I'm gonna be honest. Crown looked great until Worlds. He looked good in the spring split of 2017. He's really only struggled 1 season, realistically.
Really bad though.
It was really bad. It was pretty decently poor.
And it's weird though.
But no, he picked it up.
He said he had depression, and then they won a Worlds, and he still was depressed. I don't know how that even makes sense.
He was depressed because he said he didn't contribute enough. He didn't want to be carried to the World Finals.
I guess you can kind of feel bad about that, but I mean, it's like he won something half of the world wants to win. So I mean, but who knows? We're not in someone's mind. Depression is one hell of a thing.
It is. It's not explainable sometimes, but I think that the biggest thing is.
But I'm really glad for him. He found a team.
I think
maybe he comes over here, proves himself, and then later on, a couple years, he goes back.
I think in terms of his season performance in 2017, he did well in the spring. His summer wasn't impressive, and then his Worlds was terrible. I think the next split after that, he did terrible, and then he picked it up during what's it called? Towards the end of summer in 2018. No, he picked it up.
Qualifier.
Yeah, during the end of the summer split, and honestly, during the regional qualifier, he looked amazing. He did. He looked great.
I feel like this is going to be. I don't know if Optical even make playoffs, but I think this is going to be a redemption story for Crown. I would love to see that, man. Like, he was one of my favorite players to watch on Samsung Galaxy pop off, and I would love to see if he has this nice redemption story.
I'm going to put that out there. The fact that they have Pobelter and Pobelter and Crown means that there's going to be a lot of bans on Malzahar this season.
Yeah. Oh, JJ can face his old teammate in Crown. Optic and TSM. Ooh, that's going to be a spicy match.
Is it really?
Probably not.
Not really. I don't feel like there's any tension there.
No, I feel like it's going to be a Team Liquids beats him in 20-minute type game. That's just how I feel about that. All right. Now we get to the really juicy, sexy, spicy part of it.
You got some weird descriptions and stuff.
So this is odd. So some people are going to be scratching their heads when I actually say this. TSM pretty much finalizes 4/5 of the roster. Broken Blade, Bjergsen, Sven, and Smoothie. So what that means is that you're like, okay, where's Mithy? Because Sven and Mithy have played together for years. So They don't know. We actually don't know yet. He still said it's complicated. So
He said it's complicated.
So they still might be. And if you just go with Grig, I think Grig is okay. I mean, just fine, being good, and being okay is two different things. If he's just fine, that means he's just doing his job.
I think he's a good backup jungler. I don't think he should be on the starting roster, if you want me to be honest.
But if they're doing just Grig, that's fine, because their other jungler has to be an A, because of the import slots, and oh yeah, let's import, TCL region, but it doesn't matter.
He's not really a TCL region. I think he was an import there, was he not?
I have no clue, honestly. He played with Freeze.
What's up?
On Broken
Yeah,
Bandits.
I think what I'm saying is he didn't impress me on Royal Bandits, but I don't think he was terrible. And on top of the fact that
but if you're looking at TSM, you need to change.
He was a well-performing player in that region, but I think the region itself kind of dissuades me from saying he's good.
Yeah. I think that if you're looking at TSM, you're going like, okay, we need a change. It's been too long since we've had the same players.
They're taking a big risk with this dude, but I think if it pays off, they have two extremely good solo
That
players.
should not. I'm just saying that should not discredit anything about Hauntzer's performance. I think Hauntzer has been at most worst top 3 in his role, with other Korean imports being here.
Yeah, I'm really surprised why they made this move, to be honest, because he looked great in the spring split. I think the summer split.
Everyone like he had a whole bad year. No, he didn't have a whole bad
His
year.
spring split was genuinely not that bad. I think people are overestimating. Like he was third in the running for
He got third All-NBA Pro LCS top laner. Remember? He got third on the third place team.
Yeah, I mean,
he was still being considered to be a
like
really
I
good
think
laner.
that's more. Yeah, it shows something honestly, because the top 2 were Huni and Sunday.
Guys, yeah,
Come on, that shows something.
He's been at worst top 3 in his role. That's really good. The only I think that they're taking a page out of Cloud9's book. They're taking a risk on a
talent,
young talent.
Young talent. I can see that. I think it's gonna kind of suck because he's an import, so he has to improve himself a lot.
Because people have to
Hauntzer
factor
wasn't an import.
People have to factor in. You got when import slots basically mean you can't screw those up. Those have to be good players because you only get 2 of them, and that means that in mid you do go. There's several ways, but we'll do that in a separate video of legacy bot lanes parting. But overall, the roster of TSM. Realistically, how are you factoring it in?
Well, I want to let's look at the best case scenario. Bjergsen stays the same. Broken Blade proves himself as the all the hypes that's surrounding him, honestly, because he's a hyped up player, to be honest.
Yeah, he's the player you're looking to watch if you're playing on TSM. He's the player to watch.
He proves it. And then Smoothie is a great player, and I think Sven is still
another redemption story for Smoothie. A redemption story.
I don't think it's really redemption because I feel like he's just not been. He wasn't in the starter role for C9 for some reason. I like Zazel, but I really think that Smoothie was a better player. It's not even really think that he was a better player. I just think maybe it just didn't mesh well.
Maybe C9 factors in if we had a different support during this year, we get a better result. And it worked.
It worked, but I don't know if it was...
Can this work happening?
What I'm saying is I don't think it was in terms of Zazel. I think they just wanted a different... He was probably trying to be the shot caller, is what my
They wanted everybody to give their voices.
And obviously Smoothie was doing that. That's a big portion of what he does as a player. I'm just kind of confused why they replaced him, but Zazel worked out, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, you guys got to factor in. Some teams just want to try new things out. I humbly believe that if you stay on a team for a long time, because some people still call caps, the whole caps thing is like, because people that factor in 2 years is a long time to stay with the team.
You know what? If the fact is they made it to World Finals, and that's genuine. That's so surprising to me. Why are you throwing out the person
that he's a traitor?
No.
Caps did say he wanted to be the face of Fnatic.
What I'm saying is, why did Caps leave? It makes no sense to me.
They made it to World Finals.
Yeah, they made it to World Finals.
So you factor in if you change a couple players, maybe they win the whole thing.
Like, at what point do
at what point? When are you satisfied then?
No, what I'm saying is he's essentially taking a risk on
G2.
Perks being a better ADC than Reckless, which I don't think is going to happen.
Because you're factoring in. Okay, well, let's do 2 things. You're factoring in Perks being an ADC. That means you're factoring in that he has to be better than people who have played this role for years and have years of experience.
Perks is going to be behind Mickey X, correct? Mickey X is going to be the support, which is also kind of surprising.
Holy crap!
That team is not impressing me so far.
Do you have
I don't know how
Yankos?
Wonder and Yankos, I need to see. Wonder
literally almost carried them.
He carried them in the qualifiers.
The play? No, he didn't. I think Wonder was. If they didn't have Wonder, they probably aren't even making it out of group stage.
I don't agree. I agree with that. I think he did really well in the the play-ins, whatever they're called.
Like, because you factor so Perks moving to ADC means that you have to bank on this dude playing better than people who've been playing ADC. That means you're banking him being better than even worse ADCs.
I think just based off of his knowledge of the game, I think he's gonna be better in terms of just walking around the map and his ability to space himself.
Maybe, but
I just think he's a
I
good.
mean, we've seen role swaps before, but that's in Korea.
Well, it's a
Ambition, score.
Yellow starter support worked out well. If we're talking
the
about
dude
older.
from Albus Nox Luna, PPP Stales, moved to top lane.
Yeah.
It worked out for him.
And we saw Alpha move from ADC support.
Kickus.
Yeah,
moved.
what I'm saying is I can trust him.
I think it can work. Proves on history. It probably can.
I think in terms of just the way that Perks plays, when he's behind, I think he's smart enough. I just don't know. I think this is a big risk for him.
At one point, when are you satisfied as a player? My team made World Finals. What will be the point in leaving?
I don't know the reason he did it, but he seems
Maybe
to
he
have
wanted to change the scenery.
Whatever the reason.
Why does the change of scenery factor into I made World Finals?
How did we get? I thought our
But-
video was on NA.
Yeah,
forgot.
that's pretty much it, isn't it?
No, I think there's something else.
Oh, C9 has their new academy support. If you guys care about that, they got it from Scouting Ground actually. Their new academy support is. Let me bring it up right now.
Was that the dude from Team? Yeah, it's Team Mountain, Team Ocean.
His name is
Team Ocean.
Diamond.
What's up? Let me think. I was watching. I just forgot which team was which, man. I only saw like 3 of the games, so I can't really speak for that.
Yeah, they got someone on. They got someone from Scouting Grounds to be their support. Oh, and Fong leaves C9 Academy, so he was,
I'm not surprised about that. A dude who switched from is Fang, was it not? Or Fong? Was it
Fong. And Mike Young is now on Team Lubid Academy.
I think he needs to develop more. He functioned well in a carry.
I think TSM just ruined his career. That's just my.
I don't think so. I think
if you put Mike Young on any other team beside TSM, he's just.
It's his own fault. I think it's his own fault for he went to TSM. He thought he could handle the pressure, and I'm not blaming the pressure solely because he didn't play well. He did not
I think he
function.
didn't play well because of the pressure. Because he was saying at the first part it wasn't getting to him, and then you've seen that in like the first couple weeks it was just tearing him apart.
Well, we can say whatever we want, but
okay, so what if Mike Young is like the Blapper situation? So what if you put Mike Young on C9?
I think
he performs very well.
I think everybody does better on C9 because of the infrastructure. I'm gonna be honest. Friendliness will get you a long way because this is at the end of the day this is a mental thing. This is a mental game, and if you like, it doesn't work the same as baseball because baseball for the most part, it can get in your head sometimes.
You hit the ball, you go back, sit down, and the other guy goes up.
The baseball, like all this stuff getting in your head does function in that, but at the end of the day, you still got this body. You still got a 6'7" body, and if you have that, you're gonna beat down most people regardless. Though I don't want to say mentality doesn't get in your head.
A bit of trivia before we kind of end this one is Bjergsen is now in the 3rd generation of TSM as a player. So congrats to Bjergsen, long-standing TSM member.
I mean,
they
if they're gonna talk about replacing people based solely off of results, he's been the one consistent thing about those rosters, has he not? Because they replaced Hauntzer.
They replaced
I'm gonna say Bjergsen's still the best player on that team. He has been since he joined the team. So I don't want to say that they should be. But
there was like one split where people considered him not better than Hauntzer, but that was like.
I don't think that even existed, man. I think Hauntzer thrived in that meta, but I don't think he was better than Bjergsen still. I still think Bjergsen's always been the best player on his team, even when Doublelift was on the team, to be honest.
Okay, I'm just making sure I didn't forget anything. No, that covers all of North America. Just on the Mike Young thing, I think he really does deserve a starting spot.
I don't think he's good enough for a starting spot because he showed that he wasn't back when he was playing, man.
God, man.
I want to see him.
Really did. People said it was going to ruin his career when they announced it.
I don't care about that. He was not good outside of the aggressive jungler meta. So he did not deserve a start. Like, he deserved to go back to the academy. I want to see him like practice a little more.
That's pretty much it. They're making changes to Ivern, but no. That's pretty much it. That's it, guys.
Well, let's think.
That's it for North America.
I want to make sure.
We're going to be going over probably Korea next, because Korea has some really interesting news. Because this is going to be really, really interesting. I'm just completely making sure. Jack officially announced our preseason change. What the heck? No, stop.
Okay.
That's it.
I think we're good to go.
All right. Just making sure.
So we probably should have thought about this all before, but yep.
Signing out, baby.